Hi, thank you for joining me today. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring you the second layout for the January for the Love of Homemade Kit series. And today I am doing a 12 by 12 layout using the kit. I'm scrapping again photos from our trip to North Carolina from several years ago, trying to get this album done. And these are photos from Fort Macon, which is right along the Atlantic Ocean, and it's on the Outer Banks. So I'm using today one of my go-to designs. I believe this may have been one of Chamel's that she has shown on her channel before, if I remember correctly. And it's one that I use quite a bit. It's you can change things up, but it's a great way of using those horizontal and vertical pictures together, and it's a great way of getting three pictures on a layout. So here what I'm doing is I'm going and I cut down the two verticals just a little bit because my piece of paper wasn't quite wide enough to take the 4 by 4. So I just cut 1/4 of an inch off of those two vertical photos, and now I'm adding it on the pink and making it into a square. Then I cut about a 3.5, 4 inch piece of paper off of the Paper Studio, and then about a half an inch off of each side, 1/4 inch off of each side, and that is going to be my design where I'll have the band at the bottom and then the photo mat above it. So I'm just trying to adhere everything down and get it all straightened out. The reason I'm using the wood grain paper for this is, again, it's on the Outer Banks, and so I want to get that whitewashed feel. And with it being at the fort, it kind of had that wood and brick feeling that I wanted to go for. And then I'm wearing a pink hat, so the pink paper just kind of brings out that pop. And then the Paper Studio paper at the bottom just has a lot of the icons like ships and palm trees and things that you would see on the Outer Banks. And so I liked how the feel that it brought in. I'm using this scrap of this slate gray cardstock, and I'm just putting a little bit at the top and the bottom just to pull out the darker colors that are like in the bricks and the cannons, just to bring that into the photo, or the colors from the photo into the layout. And now I'm taking the stickers from the Pier label sticker sheet, and I'm using one for my photo cluster at the bottom, and then I take the one that looks kind of like a doily and I split it in half, and I'm going to use part at the top and part at the bottom. And this cluster that I'm doing, it's actually going to change. I put this wood grain arrow on here, but I don't care for it. I'm just using it as a filler, and I end up changing that out in a few minutes when I find a better piece. So now I'm just taking another blue sticker label that I'm putting at the top. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take the Momentous stickers, and on there they had those wood grain arrow and the little buttons, and the one says Down by the Sea, and I thought this was perfect because Fort Macon is right off of the ocean, and in the bottom horizontal picture you can actually see the ocean from in the background, and so I thought that was perfect for this page. I'm using some of these Pink Fresh Studio puffy stickers and just clustering them in the two corners. I decided with only going with the two clusters. I had thought about a third, and then I changed my mind. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this Paper Studio sticker sheet that I'm trying to use up, and I am going to take the one that has shells, and I'm actually going to cut one shell off, and then I'm going to make a banner out of the others. And I'm going to replace that wood grain arrow with this banner, and I like this a little bit better than I did the wood grain banner. So I'm just going to peel that up, and we'll use that at a later time. I'm sticking that in and then replacing everything into the clusters. And then I move the flower down as well into the right-hand corner versus being up in the top. So now I'm looking through seeing if I could make a cluster in the bottom. I decide that I can't. So I'm going to take that shell and I'm going to stick it up above and then replace the flower. and I like how that looks. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my title, and I'm just going to say Fort Macon and put that in the white space of the top photo. So my title is actually going to be Down by the Sea, Fort Macon, and I like how that just kind of brings it all together. And then the last thing I'll do on this layout is I'm going to take my gold stickles and I'm going to put some in each of the corners and make them look like enamel dots. So a very easy design, very quick. And again, you can change this one up, and whether you flip the sides, put the space in the upper part for where the horizontal picture is. It's one of those go-tos that you can use. So here is the close-ups. I want to thank you for watching. Please check out the link below for the others that are in the hop and check out their week 2. And thank you so much.